need a good stiff rod to be able to walk that rod and be able to hook that spinner into that walleye. On the other hand, if you're pulling cranks, because I have my crank rods too, you can go at a lot limberer rod because you don't have to set a hook on a crankbait. It's just a matter of picking it up, hooking them up, and bringing them in. So there's two sets of rods, really nice. You can get along with the heavier rods and watch your lines. We talked about, Keith was talking about the reels. All our reels here, these are all big line counter reels. They'll probably carry 300 yards of line. I never strip any more than 100 yards of line off my reels. Leave the backing there, retie your new line, 100 yards, you can count it right out on your line counter, and you'll have new lines, and you can change that at willingly during the tournaments or during the year. So don't refill your whole reel. You'll never get to the end of that reel unless you hook Keith's 225 horsepower. You might lose a little line there. But, yeah, we know how that goes, right? Somebody's did that before. But the idea of not changing all the line, you can save a lot more money. You buy a spool, 600-yard spool, you can actually take care of 6 rods. The other thing we do with our rods, every tournament, we start off, all new line on them, 100 yards. Every day of the tournament, we're going to strip 10 to 15 yards off. We don't want to have any bad frays or anything in the lines, so we strip that back down and retie it. The other thing that you'll find on all my rods and my son's rods too is that we run down here, everything goes down actually to the end, but I mean, the little things that a lot of people won't tell you about, you'll see that real colorful bead on my rod here. And then it goes down into a little black clip, which actually goes down to the staff swivel that's going to hook the thing. The whole idea with that little black clip is, Jerry can demonstrate here, I'll hold you, that's a sinker held clip. It's a quick release, and if I want to change that 2-ounce sinker to a 3 or a 4 or a 1, 1.5, you just snap it out like that, comes right off in your hands. You don't have to undo the whole rod and everything, and you can snap the other sinker right in. So it's all about speed. Remember the speed, and remember that real colorful bead. That's when you have an amateur partner that doesn't reset his line counter, so he doesn't know when that fish is coming up. I can sit there, and normally we let our amateur partners wind the fish up. We don't want any problems with the net, and the pros will actually do the netting. I see that bead coming up into the water. I know 4 feet down is that walleye. And then I get ready to do what I have to do. So every one of those little things that you see is so very important, and it's been used. A lot of people say, well, why does he do this, why does he do that? There's the reason why we do these things. And being able to change that sinker at a snap of a finger anytime I want. And the other deal is, our down rods, all our rods have these on here. If I'm pulling 2 boards out each side of the boat and a down rod off the back, which I do constantly here in Michigan because we're allowed 3 rods, if that down rod goes, because that's going to be my bottom bouncer rod, I can snap my boards in, wind them in, and snap that bottom bouncer in, and have all of a sudden, in 5 minutes, I'll have 3 rods down on the bottom instead of 1. So it's all about speed and being quick, and not only that, if the wind's blowing too hard, I can't slow the boat down enough. I need a 3-ounce, click, 3-ounce weights on is down. If it's too heavy, I go with a 1, 1.5. So it's all about speed and being able to utilize that really quick, and those are real inexpensive things to put on your rods. And believe me, every rod I got, and I know both my boys, it's the same thing. You make it so you can work it fast and work it, right, the right way, and not have a problem with it. Now we're talking about boards. We've been fishing for offshore actually since they started offshore. So we've been with our pro staff a long time, and the boards now are just, as far as I'm concerned, it's the best board out in the market. The idea of the tattletale kit on them is just phenomenal, so that you can sit there and be able to see that perch, bite that rod, actually see the weeds hang up on it, or actually see the big fish grab it and take it back. Before, when the board didn't have that tattletale kit, it would sit out there, and if it was there, maybe it was all right. If it was back there, I don't know if it had a fish on it. If it was way up front, I don't know. This makes it so much easier, and you can adjust these springs, at 5 different tensions so you can actually set it to make it work exactly where you want it to so you can see it. And being able to do that, 40, 50 yards away, being able to see that board work where you would never do it with any other board or without the Tattletale kit. So it's very important. And Offshore realizes it, and the new paper that you guys got, he's got a cheaper spring kit that they're putting on them now because they know it was expensive to put these on. But once you get these things set up, they're good to go. The only thing that's ever going to go wrong on these clips is the pad, and it's just a little piece of rubber inside them, and you can buy the pads right in the book. You can clip out that pad and glue a new one in. It only takes a couple seconds to do it. So it's just very economical and a great way to do this fishing. And like I said, you want to get the other rod, Jerry? I'll show them that one real quick. Remember, 8/6 medium heavy. It allows you to make the big swing when you're trying to hook those spinners. Oh yeah, well, we spinner fishermen, we're always changing spinners up, and it's hung up there a little bit. And I actually got this information from the Walleye Club, our Walleye Club down here. I read an article here, was it last year, it might have been the first of last year, whatever. They're talking about putting these little skirts on. These are little rubber skirts that you got. These are Teflon here. They're made by Northland Tackle. That's where I buy mine from. I started running these last year, and so did Jerry. And the beads are still there. You put the skirt right over top of them, and it fills that bait bigger. And for big fish, this has really made a big change for me. If I'm fishing big fish, I'll catch more big fish with that skirt on than I will with just running the spinners and the blades. Don't ask me why. It just makes the presentation bigger, and bigger for big fish is better. So by all means, I won't go out without them anymore. All my spinners are set up to do this. If I'm after big tournament fish, this is the way to catch them. So it's just another one of those little deals. You'll see what Kenny's rod here now. He's got, that's an 8/6. This is a 9-foot. It's a fly rod. It's actually set up. Jerry makes all the rods for us outside of that one. But you'll see the difference on this is like how we run 2 boards out one side, 2 boards out the other side of our boat, and 2 down rods off the corner. Down rods have the sinkers on them. That thing loads up. When a walleye grabs that with that ease to that line, it is just unbelievable. The fish don't even know they're hooked. Really, really light, limber rods, and you gotta have them. When that walleye grabs that thing and feels that tension of that line, and a lot of times they'll release it. These real light rods, I should say, will make a big difference as far as catching. And you don't have to be in a hurry. I tell my amateur partners, when this rod goes, that rod will pull down and pull down. I said, don't worry about it. Check everything else, and finally when it goes on and touches the edge of the water, I say, now you can pick the rod out, the fish is on, and line them up. And it's so forgiving, you can't break the line on these things. But it is so special to have your down rods really, really light. And that's just a way to set your boat up. The other deal with the boat is, I run a 19-foot, it's a 192 Crestliner with a 200 on the back. I have 8 rod holders across the back of the boat. That way when we're running our boards, my outside far board goes, I wind the inside board in, don't pull it out of the water, just slide it over to the other side of the boat and put it in one of the other rod holders. Let that board sit right up behind your motor. It's still fishing for you. You give the boat to the fish, you turn the boat, the fish is coming in on this side, he won't interfere anything with those other rods. Put the fish in that, hit the board, out goes the board back, cut, back fishing. You're catching fish, you already got one on, no reason to wind your rods in and get them out of the way to put that fish in the boat. Especially if you're looking to get a bunch of them. I've caught a lot of big walleyes off the back of the boat. Well, that flag was right there off the back of the motor. So it's like, hey, keep them in the water, keep them working. And, you guys got anything? Yeah, here's Jerry.
When me and Kenny came in second in the MWC 2 years ago, we fished out in front of Bowles Harbor in like 9 to 12 feet of water. I think we had like 150 boats. We weighed in over 70 pounds and we never marked a fish. Now, everybody always reads the stuff, well, you go out to Lake Erie and you see all the fish on the graph, you fish the fish you see. Well, we never seen a fish. We just fished. Some of these places you have to fish. A lot of times the boat pushes the fish off to the side and you'll never see them on your graph. At all.
Especially in 9 feet of water.
Yeah, 9 to 12 feet of water every year. The fish were either right to the bottom with a bouncer on a board, like you see I had here in my hand, or like 20 feet back with a split shot. And we had boats coming by us and watching us catch fish and catch fish and catch fish. And these guys were like, what are you guys doing there? We're like, there was a ton of fish there, but you couldn't see them on your electronics. So this because you pull into a spot, drop your rods down, look down, you don't see any fish. If you don't see any fish on your graph, either one, there's none there, or two, they're all the way up high, or they're all the way pinned down in the mud. So just don't ever forget that, because those guys they couldn't believe we pulled over 70 pounds of fish in 2 days. And we were catching 7-pounders left and right. They could not figure that out. You think not seeing them, there only had to be 2 places. You don't see them on your graph, they're only in 2 places. Also, you've seen us, we run, you see the board and you see we had the bouncer on it. A lot of guys are like, well, that's it. You should be running inlines. Well, if you really want to know where your spinner is, right, you can put a bouncer on and a line counter. I'm gonna clear this out to 0. I'm gonna drop that bouncer down until it touches the bottom. And I'm gonna look at my line counter. And I know that bouncer touches the bottom, and my line counter says 35 feet. I know 35 feet. That bouncer's right there. We'll also take it and I'll wind it up to like 28 feet. You know, just because there's a bouncer on the rod doesn't mean that it has to be on the bottom. A lot of guys make that, assumption as we see bouncers on it, everybody's out on the bottom, but a lot of times I'll fish bouncers on all my boards and they won't be on the bottom at all. You can use them as a suspended weight also.
Ken, you got anything?
Talk about the tow.
What's that? Oh, you got that in your pocket? Oh, we got our new divers here. They just came out this year too. Everybody was using the other ones, the 1s and the 2s. These are the brand new 3s now. These are 3 ounces. This thing we're expecting to dive twice as deep as our number 2. So we're talking this thing will go down 60 feet without a problem. So your salmon guys and your guys that want to pull the blades in that, we're really looking forward to these things this year. So, and we don't have the chart on them yet because we just got them back in. But the dive chart, I'm sure, will be in the next, our booklet for the upcoming month or whatever, 2 months from now, whatever. But I'm sure they'll have a dive chart in there because we're looking forward to using this. All this is the dive weight that's going to take the bait down. Oh, I keep my hands on it. Like so, it's going to dive like that. It's going to take your bait on down, and when the fish grabs it, it slides up to the front. There's no drag on it outside of the 3 ounces, and it pulls up really easy. You don't have that big thing yanking back down and forth on you. And you don't have to break it loose like you do with Dipsy. So we're expecting the salmon people and the trout people to really get in on these. So I know I'm looking forward to trying them. So yeah, the big walleyes too, yeah. Well, listen, we got all our stuff over here. If you guys brought some boards down, you guys bring them over. We'll take a look at them, see if we can fix them up for you. And make sure you get the information. That's all here on the front porch. And we got them right here. And look them all over. And if you guys, you can order right online or 1-800 number right to the place, and let them know that hey, they work. And it's always good to call back and let these people know that they had somebody out talking about your product. So keep us in mind when you talk to offshore. And thanks a lot. And have a good season, guys.